Ladies and gentlemen, PSA from the Eagles Elite Podcast crew. Football is back. I just need to say that. That made me feel really good, bubbly on the inside. We talking about the official depth chart tonight. We're going to be previewing this game against the New England Patriots. I refuse to call them anything else. And, you know, big news, injury updates, all those good things that you've come to know and love for your people here at the Eagles Elite Podcast. Right? So we're going to make those things happen because that's what we do. Anything else would just be uncivilized. And since we are civilized, we're going to make things happen. Just like that right there. You see that? We went from dark to Eagles. Just like that. But ladies and gentlemen, we get the crew up in here so we can get things going. Wyatt, what's up, man?
I'm fantastic, man. We coming up like 4 days now until the game. You know, I am ecstatic. I'm ready to get into it. You know, nothing but Eagles talk tonight.
We got a daggone game tomorrow. At least we got somebody.
Yeah, we got something at least.
Yeah. Diva, what it do?
What it do, y'all? Football is back. Philadelphia Eagles season is back. Let's get it, y'all. Another year. We about ready. Let's go.
All right. Hey, look. Y'all know how we do things around here. But the first thing we got to do is just get that little extra bit of hype. So let's do it.
The kick is away, and the kick is, it's good! And the Eagles win!
It's hard to come to South Philadelphia and leave here with the win. We just don't come to Philadelphia and leave here with the win.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, y'all know how we start this off every week. Ain't nothing new, ain't nothing surprising. Why? What we got for news, man? Or as we like to call them, Eagles updates.
Them Eagles updates. Yeah, got some practice squad information here. We signed a linebacker, Nicholas Morrow again, familiar face, brought him back to the squad. Offensive lineman Tyree Phillips, and we released Tywan Mullen and linebacker Kyron Johnson. I'm not sure if Kyron Johnson's is coming back or not. It seems like he might be coming back from what I'm seeing. I saw that he was released, and then there's rumors swirling that he could be back here next week or so. But other than that, there's not too much other than if like the injury report we're going to get to. And of course, the team captains were announced yesterday, I believe. So we can get into that if you'd like, man.
Hey, whatever you like.
All right. I mean, team captains, of course, our boy QB1 Jalen Hurts. Two new faces as far as captains. Got AJ Brown and Devontae Smith up in there. Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson, Darius Slay for the second year in a row, Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, and Jake Elliott is captain there for the special teams unit. So I mean, it got a lot of great players, some familiar faces as far as captains, but there's a couple new ones in there though.
Diva, what do you think about all these new faces? And some of the old ones that are captains.
Love them. I mean, great picks for captains. I mean, you know, I always pick the ones with the talent to be captains. So
that makes a lot of sense to me. A lot of sense to me. All right, check it, y'all. We got a couple of comments here.
Oh, wow, the first one.
So yeah, we start off with our troll who will actually be on the show later with his delusional beliefs about the Patriots. But what's going on, Rod? Hashtag 6 rings flow. Hey, you better live with them 6 rings because 7 ain't coming no time soon. And then Coach Dante, what up, fam?
Coach?
Appreciate you checking in with us too, Coach. And then we got the man Benny. Benny, what's good?
What's good, Benny?
Hey, appreciate you hopping in the comments. You know it's time. You know we get into it. So for me, I really love the captains. I saw that earlier myself. And I love the guys they picked. But I will ask you guys both one question. Do you feel like it's anybody that got snubbed that should have been a captain?
That's a hard one. I'm guessing there's someone in mind that you're thinking of bringing up the question, maybe.
Not anybody specifically. Just you guys thought maybe somebody got snubbed that should have had an opportunity. So.
I mean, I can't really think of one. I mean, maybe eventually Mailata becoming a captain at some point, but maybe that'll have to maybe wait until Kelsey or Lane retires, But I don't know, man. I like seeing Devontae and AJ getting captain spots, though. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, I do enjoy that. I definitely like that. Benny says, "Where's Swoop?"
Make Swoop a captain.
Yeah, we could make Swoop a captain, maybe.
Put the C on Swoop's jersey.
Yeah, Swoop could get a captain's jersey. Why not? Everybody else getting one, right?
Right.
Maybe Swoop is a snub. Yeah, I can't really think of anybody I would say that could be kept. I mean, you can always think of somebody, but I think they did a good job of who was selected for the captains. It's a good representation of the different parts of the team. You got some young guys. You got Smitty in there. You got AJ, who's been around a little bit longer, but still a younger guy. You got, of course, QB1. So we got a lot of solid people. And it's exciting to see it, man. Ready for the season to start. Like I say, football is actually back. Tomorrow night, we got an official regular season. Not exhibition, not preseason, not joint practice, but an official football game.
Yeah, it's not even Eagles, and I'm super excited to watch it. Just to have football back.
I'm telling you. So why any other pieces of news?
I mean, just as far as just the injury report they released today after practice, and there's only one person on it, and that's Josh Joby, and it was due to an illness, and he was a limited participant. They're saying, though, he should be good to go by game time. So we got a fully healthy roster going into the week 1 games here. I mean, there were some injuries in preseason, but, I mean, those players are already out for the season. We're not counting them at this point on the roster. So, I mean, as of right now, we fully healthy, which is exactly where we want to be going in the first week.
I completely agree. So we know week 1 who we playing. We're gonna definitely talk about that. We're definitely gonna get into that. But first, let's just spend a little bit of time and let's dig into this roster, because now we have an official depth chart roster, however you want to swing that wording. For it. So I'm pulling that up right now, guys. The one that we kind of saw earlier, we're gonna actually use that one, so that way we can know exactly what's popping here. All right, so the official depth chart. We've got Jalen Hurts, of course, as a starter. We've got Marcus Mariota as the backup. And we have Tanner McKee as the third quarterback. What are you guys' thoughts on those 3 guys?
You need to bump Tanner McKee up a notch there.
You really do.
One more. One more.
No,
I want to see Mariota in that second spot.
I don't either.
I don't understand it.
I don't either.
What up,
Not
Philly?
after
Philly,
the
by the way.
season.
All right. So then we got another comment here from Benny. Benny says, I really want to see Allen get the kick return duty. I'm good with the new captains list. Okay.
Hey, after that kick return you had in the preseason here, I'll be down to see more. See what he can do. I'm cool with Boston being back there too. He did well last year.
Yeah, I like Boston back there. I really like Boston back there. Personal opinion, but I really like Boston back there.
I mean, if I'm not find another punter though, get Siposs out of here. What are you doing, Howie? What are you doing?
Well, we got him on the
he's on practice squad. But nobody else though.
So Boston Scott is on the kick return.
Is he?
So
oh
yeah, we got
yeah.
So for me, in regards to the quarterbacks, I agree. So I said this last week, but I am on a mission to make sure I mention this as much as possible. I apologize to all my fellow Eagles fans. I had faith in Marcus Mariota that was blinded. That was not the wisest thing for me to do. And he's proven to make me eat my words because this is not a guy that I want as my backup quarterback. I would rather have either one of you guys, maybe even myself, as the backup quarterback over Marcus Mariota. This guy cannot throw. And I just don't understand how you've been in the league this long, how you were a starter for the Falcons last year. I don't know if maybe the moment's too big for you. Maybe you got something going on at home. I don't know what's happening, but if the guy that we saw in the preseason is the guy that's going to be our backup, I'm praying to every football god, please allow QB1 to stay healthy, because if we have to put Marcus Mariota in for a game, that's an automatic loss. It doesn't matter if we're playing the dad blame Cardinals. We might lose with this dude. So definitely need McKee to jump up and take that number 2 spot, because, man, Marcus, unless you're going to show us something different in the regular season you showed in the preseason, you should honestly, you shouldn't even be here. Personal opinion.
Right. And so that kind of scares me, because if you don't go ahead and give Tanner McKee that second spot and we get to the playoffs and Jalen has to be out, you never know, then, how is he going to do if he's not getting playing time? Because we know Marcus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was one of those people that was very vocal about bringing Mariota in during free agency and everything, because I liked the way, because with Minshew in, dude was a statue. Like, he can throw, but he can't move. And we needed someone that would kind of go along with the game plan that I already had in place for Jalen Hurts, where it's like now it's like I wanted Mariota for that reason. He would fit the game plan. We wouldn't really have to change the offense 2 months. But now he looks like he's scared to throw the ball. There's no power behind it. He looked very poor during the preseason here. I mean, he had a couple good runs, but running isn't going to help you at all.
Yeah, one of those, damn it, Carson. Damn you, Carson.
I don't know. Tanner McKee, I mean, he had a couple nice runs too, but I mean, he was slinging it. I mean, the receivers weren't helping him out any during preseason, but he was putting the ball exactly where he needed to be. And I would feel much more comfortable with McKee as the backup than Marcus Mariota. I don't know if it's just Howie being stubborn, how we know that he is with some of these pickups. So like, all right, we paid him some dough. You have that spot. It's like, dude, you should put your next best man available. Like, what are you doing? I don't care how much you're paying this dude as a backup. Put the better man at number 2, and that's obviously Tanner McKee.
Obviously.
Hopefully, we don't have to talk
right,
about it
so
throughout the season.
We got a couple of comments here. So we got don't underestimate the cheating coach in New England. Very true.
Never.
We've got what's good, everyone. I'll be back on the 20th. That sounds like that's Fuji. Fuji, it looks like you haven't yet, so you'll need to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. There you can get Facebook access, StreamYard access to your Facebook, so that way we can actually see your comments. But yep. So looks like we got a return date for our 4th guy, Fuji. All right, and then Bob Ross says, "Go Niners, good luck this year. See you week 13 and in the playoffs."
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
We will see.
Mm-hmm.
And then Benny says the blocking has to be better on kick returns.
Man,
So Benny,
Got to.
but I don't trust that coach. That's what I don't trust.
let me tell you something. Right here, Eagles Elite, what we do around here, everybody on special teams is suspect. The whole unit is sus. And if the whole unit is sus, that means it's the coordinator.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
it was already bad, and then you lost Sec McPherson and who was the other player got hurt? But somebody else got hurt as well, and they were both special teams players that were doing really well. But you lose 2 of those players, and it's even worse probably than it already was. So they need to do something to address.
Sean Bradley or Charleston Rambo?
Sean Bradley.
Okay.
And Zach McPherson.
Yeah. So quarterback, a little interesting. So now we have, and I'm hopping over to our lads because they update their thing pretty consistently with the roster, and it's a little cleaner to look at.
Yeah.
So we have DeAndre Swift as our starting running back, Kenneth Gainwell as the backup, Rashard Penny as the 3rd running back, and then Boston Scott as the 4th running back.
So
Guys,
what
have any
changed in the
thoughts on
day?
that?
Was at first it was Gainwell, and then Penny, and then Scott, and then Swift. So something changed since yesterday.
So for me, I believe that it was always Swift. That's why you made the trade. but they had this thing where they didn't want to announce an actual starter, so they just had them all like at number one and just spread out.
Yeah.
It was just
running back by committee.
We all know who was going to be number one. He was brought in to be number one. You look at the pay, and I know we don't want to play people just because of pay, but this is the guy that's getting the lion's share of the money. We're not spending a lot in the running back room, don't get me wrong, but he is getting the lion's share of the money in the running back room, and he's the more versatile guy. He's the guy that makes sense to be the starter, especially with a quarterback like Hurts, where he can run out and leak because you have to spy Hurts, his ability to catch the ball and to actually make plays after the catch. And this is no knock on Kenneth Gainwell. You can't help your size. But giving the ball to a guy like Gainwell in the flat and expecting him to dodge some tackles or break a tackle and get yards, we saw that doesn't work. So Swift, to me, was definitely the right option. But any thoughts by you guys?
No.
Not really. I mean, I think they're going to be pretty much using them as, I mean, I definitely think DeAndre Swift will be the main back, but I think they're going to be rotating them as they go throughout the games here.
Which is smart to keep everybody fresh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I had to draft Swift in fantasy in one league. When I say I had to draft Swift, it was Swift and a bunch of dudes who are not going to play. So I was like, I already expected in that league I need to be carried by other positions because I already know this dude's not going to get the yards he could because of this rotation. He's going to be like he play on the defensive line.
Yeah. I'm interested in seeing what Kenny Gainwell does here, especially after that strong showing in the playoffs or anything. They're going to be looking to go to him a lot more, it seems. So hopefully he's able to step up.
All right. So Benny asked, are you guys from Philly? Benny, I am not. Eagles D was not. Wyatt is close to Philly.
I'm close. I'm about like an
and
hour
our
out.
Fourth is from Philly. So Chris says Pats are covering the spread. They might cover the spread. I'm not really worried about the spread because I'm not a bettor. But what I do know is that they're going to catch that big fat.
L.
That's all I know.
That's what I do know. That's what I do know. And Benny asked, how should they use Albert O in the offense? Should he be using the red zone area? That's going to depend a lot. Philly says, what's up? So let's go back to Albert. Let's go back up to Benny Boom's thoughts. So Albert O, and I'm definitely going to be calling him Albert O because trying to say his name, I'm not going to do that because that does not work out well. But he's our fourth tight end. So we're keeping 4 tight ends and we're only keeping 4 receivers. So this is a perfect segue to where I wanted to go next. So Dallas Goedert, Jack Stahl, Grant Calcaterra, Albert O. Wide receiver, we've got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Quez Watkins as the starters.
You don't have him, man. And we knew it.
Yep. And then Zacchaeus is the backup essentially for Watkins, but I mean, we only got one other receiver, so he's pretty much everybody's backup. I said last week, why I know you don't hear, but my thing is I figured this because you need a versatile guy to be the backup. And if you're only going to have 4 wide receivers, Zacchaeus is the more versatile guy. He can run routes better. He can understand the concepts better. He's not just speed. Quez is speed. Quez is just run and try to take defenders over the top to give the other guys opportunities to work. So
he can go and plug and play pretty much anywhere you need him to with AJ or Devontae or something. Yeah,
so basically he's getting punished for being the more complete wide receiver, in my opinion.
We still need that. That ain't enough. I'm scared of that.
We do have to have another wide receiver, and we need a punter, please. Punter. It's important.
Straight up.
So any thoughts you guys
maybe
have?
Go ahead, maybe they're waiting for Alberto to get maybe accustomed to the playbook and everything to possibly move him up. Because I mean, I wouldn't expect them to trade for him and then keep him at 4th there. Maybe give him like a couple weeks, get that playbook, get everything situated, and then kind of move him up. I mean, I don't really know too much about him. Maybe they'll use him as like a blocker, or maybe they'll run double tight end sets. Who knows? But I definitely could see, since they went out their way and traded for him, they're going to utilize him a decent bit.
Yeah, I think you will see him in some running situations. We'll see him in some passing situations. They'll be able to do more rotations because you have the 4 guys who be able to do, like you said, more 2 tight end sets. I feel like if we were going to do this, we could have just kept Tyree Jackson. But
that dude always hurt. Street clothes.
But I mean, talent, right? Like
Yeah.
talent. I mean, it was 2 of those injuries. It's like, but it felt like things he could come back from and still be successful, versus bringing in a guy that, was about to get cut in Denver. And we already know how Denver is. So I'm just throwing it out there to give the other perspective on Albert O and how well he's going to do. I mean, I've read some stuff on him. I had a chance to check him out a little bit. He seems to be okay, but
yeah, my thought is maybe like once he gets accustomed to everything, that's maybe move on from like Jack Stoll or Calcaterra. Maybe drop one of those tight ends.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right. Got that. Shady Sports says Bob Ross, check out the 49ers show. Yes, Shady Sports has the 49ers show as well. Benny says he's a big body that can win some one-on-ones.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people were like comparing him to like, obviously not like the talent is so far away, but people were comparing him like Travis Kelce in a way.
Yeah, and then Sam just says Albert O isn't regarded as a blocker. That's why Denver shipped him out in favor of blocking tight end and undrafted free agent. Yeah, he's more of a
I don't know too much about him.
Receiving tight end. But we'll see how he fits in. I'm not going to pull the plug on him. We did trade an asset to get him, a 6th-round pick, and got back a 7th in him. So we did, trade an asset to get him. So we'll see how it ends up working out. I hope it does, because if we waste a roster spot, I'm going to be highly ticked off.
Right.
And you guys know when I get ticked off, I kind of let that be known.
Maybe they'll rotate him with Goddard a little bit, try to keep him healthy for the whole year.
Yeah, I think that would be good instead of just running Goddard.
Yeah.
To death.
Like, I know you paid money, like decent money for Goddard, but I mean, he usually misses like what, couple games, 2 games a year.
Yep.
So it's like maybe that's it. Who knows? There's got to be some reason they went out and got him.
I think they're going to just see how he progressed, and I think that we'll start to see him more and more in the rotation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, any thoughts on, we kind of went over it, but any thoughts on the wide receiver group as a whole as well? Obviously, we need another one, but any other thoughts you guys have on that?
No, not just no quiz, but I do what he said he was going to do. That's all I do know. If not, then
get out.
I'll go.
Get out.
So why you weren't here last year? I mean, the lines, we pretty much knew the lines were going to be set, but we did have one interesting thing I see here. We've got Jason Kelce as a starting center. Cam Jurgens, who is our center of the future, is going to be playing right guard. He's going to be started there, and Tyler Steen is going to be his backup. Did you have any thoughts on how that situation ended up playing out?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's going to be Kelce's backup going forward. Like, they might have just transferred him, see how he does, and then depending on how he goes, just keep him at right guard, and then depending on how long Kelce stays here, he might have to pick his other replacement and see what happens going down the line. But it seems like Cam Jurgens outplayed Steen. I mean, as far as like the preseason and just a little bit last. I mean, Steen wasn't here last year, but I mean, he looked decent whenever he had to fill in on that offensive line. And I mean, it seems like everybody's pretty high on him as being a part of that O-line. They keep talking about how good he is. Stoutland's, praising him and everything. So it wasn't surprising that he ended up becoming in the right guard there, but I don't know. I feel like Steen's going to have to do an awful lot of work to get that starting job from him throughout the season here.
Basically.
You got any comments on this, Diva?
I mean, no. I mean, Wyatt hit it. I mean, I don't really, see him taking the starting job from Cam Jurgens. I don't. But we'll see.
Yeah.
So I've said this before. I'll say it again. For me, I just feel like if he's going to be your guy for the future, if you're saying, hey, this is my center of the future, right? We got a guy we drafted. We think it's going to be the future at right guard. Why are we stunning his growth by not letting him get out this year and get those reps? Because at some point, whether it's next year, whether it's the year after, Jason Kelce's going to leave. If we win a Super Bowl, Jason Kelce is riding off in the sunset. 100% believe that. Fletcher Cox is probably going to go with him. Brandon Graham's probably going to go with him. So there are going to be some people who's going to be like, peace out. So you have a year where you can put Tyler Steen in between Jason Kelce and Lane Johnson and help him learn and help him develop the chemistry with the line. We're going to set that back because he got outplayed by a guy that's been on the team and has learned and had a year to become a professional. But that we want to be our center of the future. So the other way I look at this is we've got 3 guys from right guard to center. Kelce, Juergens, Steen. Kelce is not going to play right guard. Steen's probably not going to play center. There's one guy that can play both of those positions. So why not have him be the backup for Kelce? Something happens with Steen, he can come in, but let's go ahead and let Steen start getting experience. And what they could be doing is saying we're going to start Juergens, but you're going to get a healthy dose of Steen throughout games as well. And if you're doing that, I'm fine with it. I just don't want Tyler Steen sitting on the bench all year, and then we're looking at him next year if we win, say we do win a Super Bowl, or say Jason Kelce says, I'm done. I tried it. I'm done. I'm ready to go home. Now you're asking him to come in without being able to play and be a part of a dominant line. Why not start to get him those reps now? So as long as we're doing that, I'm good with whatever, situation we got happening there. But let's get Steen snaps. Let's get him some work. If he's going to be the guy for the future, you drafted him in the 3rd round, so you have some expectations for him. I get it. You want him to overcome and take the job, but Juergens has experience advantage over him. He knows what Stoutland wants. He obviously can play the guard position as well, so I'm fine with him starting, but we got to see a lot of Steen too. That's my only thing.
Yeah, my guess is because they spent the high draft pick on him, they don't want him sitting another year and not doing anything. So they wanted him they saw his potential in there, so they slid him in there at right guard. My guess is if anything does happen with Kelce, they just slide him over to center and bring Steen in at right guard there. That's my guess. But the whole thing, that's really the only reason I could think of was because of the high draft pick to get Juergens. They don't want him just sitting behind Kelce another year and then only coming in on, games that were already up going into the 4th quarter, or if Kelce gets hurt or something. They don't want him just going in and there's limited spots throughout the season. I don't know. They paid for him as, what was he, a 1st round pick is when we got Juergens? Was he a late first?
Second.
Yeah. Was it a second? But yeah, that's my guess.
So we got a couple more comments. So back to Alberto. Sam just says he's extremely athletic, super high upside. When I hear super high upside, I think about guys like Quez Watkins. I personally think he will be good in Philly. I hope he's good, because if he's not good, we're in a situation. And Benny agrees with me at least, right? He says we got to give Steen some playing time at guard. We got to get ready for our future. We know what we want the line to look like 2-3 years from now. So you got to get those guys seasoned and ready for that eventual takeover.
Yeah. Maybe they didn't think he was ready, based off of what they've seen on him so far.
Maybe not. So we're going to switch things up a little bit. We normally do this at the end here, but we're going to do our Shady Sports commercial here in the middle. And when you come back, we're going to be joined by a 4th person. And y'all forgive him ahead of time because he is blinded by his historical achievements of success and his love for the Cheatreats. So let's go.
This is Brett, and you're watching Shady Sports Network. Tune in, hit that like button.
You might wonder, what do these guys do? Player signing announcements. I never in a million years thought you would actually come on to break this news. So without further ado, go ahead and tell everybody what happened today.
Yeah, man. I just had to work out with the Cincinnati Bengals. Finding me right out.
Without further ado, I'd like to announce that, I'll be taking my talents to Salina Liberty.
This just in, the Major League of Football is reportedly collapsing, unable to pay hotel room bills, with players being kicked out of their rooms and hotel managers asking them to leave voluntarily without issue.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by the aforementioned Rod Uncensored.
In the flesh.
Now, where is Miss Uncensored? That's who I want to know.
You know what I mean? We had some good Texas Roadhouse. She's in the bed watching FBI, Most Wanted.
Okay, so you made sure that you ran her off so you wouldn't.
Yeah, I made sure she ate nice and good so she can go to sleep. You know what I mean? While this is going
no
on.
one would give us the realness. I got you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Sometimes you got to play dirty. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you got to play dirty.
Oh, well, I mean, coming from a Patriots fan, I would definitely
it makes sense.
something like
You know what I
that.
mean? I gotta wear it today. I know I was
The king of all cheaters. I mean, I would expect you to say something like, we got to play dirty. That's the mantra of your whole entire organization, sir. So, I mean, I ain't mad at you. You know?
whatever you want to call it, you know.
Hey, I'm calling it what it is.
Oh my God!
So he doing to you. He doing to you. He doing a ride.
He must have been drinking some Remy Martin.
Rod got rided on that one.
Yeah.
Philly Talk Podcast. Hey, appreciate y'all checking us out, man. Definitely. So, Rod, we're gonna let you go first because you are our guest, and even though you're misguided, that is not your fault, right? Something happened in your life that made you want to support cheaters. So we can't blame whatever that is because we don't know. Could have been some childhood trauma, some teenage trauma. We don't know. So we're not gonna attack you for that because it's not your fault, right? It's clearly not your fault. But you did make a wise decision in a spouse because subconsciously, that was a good decision.
I was trying to find a Commander fan, but it was hard.
Well, something about that Philly fan made you fall in love.
Yeah. So it might have been some cheese whiz or something. I don't know.
We ain't gonna even touch that. And I hope that she don't come back and watch this show and hear you talking about you was looking for Commanders fans because I'm trying to help you and our fellow Eagles fan have a good, happy relationship, right? Outside of football, of course, because I mean you picked the enemy, so that's on you. But
you're definitely right about that.
So, Rod, tell me about the Patriots. What is it that you feel like the Patriots are going to be able to do to give them an opportunity to get a win?
Currently we coming into this game with some injuries. Cole Strange is dealing with a knee injury, so I want to see if he's going to push it. Mike Gesicki messed up his his arm. In practice, so. We just signed Fedro Brown. I think he played a little bit with the Texans and a little bit with Cincinnati, I believe. So he's familiar with O'Brien's offense. So we want to see how that goes. Also, everybody heard about the storyline with Juju. His knee might explode. You know what I mean? That's the storyline right now. But I see him playing. But I think, with our receivers being questionable, we're like the three amigos with the Commanders back in the day. So we got a bunch of bodies, not a true number one. So I'm interested to see what Pop going to do. I don't know if y'all been watching, he came out of Liberty, DeMario Douglas, right up in Philly, Liberty right there. He had a great
Liberty's actually in Virginia.
Oh, I thought it was in PA for some anyway. Liberty, DeMario Douglas had a great preseason. He's shifty. He's kind of got that, he did a lot of reverses, in college. He was very versatile. He had that quickness that we need in our offense because we back in the day, we had a bunch of white guys looking like the Celtics, playing receivers. Everybody know that. So also Booty had he came up late in the preseason. He also looked really great in the preseason slot. He took a slant all the way to the house on Green Bay. So he was showing a little bit of promise, but it's going to be the standard guys going to be out there. But I'm really worried about the offensive line with the animals y'all got on that, in that front seven.
So to be clear, you have a player on your team whose name is Booty.
Yeah, Booty. He's, you know how the New Orleans boys are.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
Butte, whatever, however you say, you know what I mean?
Oh man,
But
you trying to put a little spice on it.
you know what I mean? I don't know how to speak that Creole, you know what I mean? I'm a little small town boy from, you know what I mean, outside of Baltimore, you know what I mean?
No, you had it right the first time.
Booty gonna play booty.
You know what I mean?
All Around Football said, "Let's go Birds." What's going on, man? Thanks for checking in on us.
But let me ask you this: do you really think that what transpires in the preseason will, because when you in the preseason, you playing people that you basically played with in college. You know what I'm saying? So you might play every now and then, but do you think it's really going to transition over to make y'all a complete team?
I'm already saying these young boys are already better than what we already had in N'Keal Harry. I'm telling you right there, they show more promise than N'Keal Harry. And I'll be the first one to tell you, Bill, I don't care if you put Bill in Florida, he's going to pick a bust receiver. So these young boys we picked up, they look like they had some promise. You know what I mean? I like to see in the actual game, but they looked at, looked the part. You know what I mean? We also picked y'all trash up too. Jalen Rieger, you know what I mean? We picked some of y'all trash up off of 95, you know what I mean? I said, because that's how depleted we are in our receiver room with injuries. Thornton, he sneezed on Thornton. He's like AD. He's gonna get hurt. So you know what I mean? We're looking for bodies. I like to see what they can do, but I think for us to win this game, we're gonna have to play a lot of clock management. I think we're gonna have to run the ball. We're gonna have to run the ball, make it look dirty.
Yeah, because I don't know about mac and cheese out there throwing the ball.
That was going to be my next question. Wyatt, you got any thing for Rod here?
Yeah, that's really what I was going to ask about too. Is like, what is your expectations for Mac Jones this season? Like, not just this game, but as far as the season, do you think he's going to take that next step for you guys?
Man, you know he's like a guy that's about to get life. He's on his last strike. I'm just being real. Everybody knows we just pick I forgot the guy's name from Panthers. Corral up. We just picked him up. You know what I mean? So we're at this point, we're just trying to see what does he got. If he doesn't got nothing this year, there's no excuses. Bill O'Brien's a way capable play caller. So if he can't make this work, you might need to get out of here. You know what I mean? Guess start tanking after the Eagle game and get Shedeur Sanders.
My buddy who's also a Patriots fan, he was hyping up I know you guys, I think you released him or brought him back or something, that third string QB you had in preseason.
Oh, Malik Cunningham.
Yeah, my buddy was
Randall's
hyping him
nephew.
all up.
Randall's
like,
nephew.
You need to keep him on the squad.
Well,
yeah, I think that could possibly be a possibility because it seemed like he was pretty agile too, and he could sling it.
I've been hearing a lot of crazy things, and I hope we don't bring sports brawl. I've been hearing rumors on on boards talking about bringing sports brawl in next year. I don't want Kyler Murray. I'm just gonna be real. I don't even like Murray wave grease. You know me when I was a young boy. I don't want him to come.
Bad to worse. You going for can't throw to mini me who can't see. That's you're going from bad to worse.
That's like getting sushi out of Wawa. It's not a good idea.
Nah, don't want to do that.
It's like getting sushi out of the trash can.
That's been there for a few days.
Because Wawa sushi is better than Kyler.
I don't want to see it, but
I can't even eat sushi.
I've been hearing reports about that, but like I'm interested to see. I have a question though. Y'all middle linebacker. What was his name? Jacoby Dean. What was his name?
Jacoby.
How much faith do y'all have in him taking that serious part of that defense, middle linebacker? That's an important position to play. You think he's going to be a linebacker play caller?
I do. I mean, just by seeing him play last year, I mean, because he got time to play with that core last year, and he showed out. So I think with him having a starting position, being able to play all the way through, oh yeah, y'all gonna feel the Kobe Dean. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a lot of faith in him going into the season here. But there's a lot of question marks on the defense in general, just because of the new coordinator. Like we have no clue what it's going to look like.
Right.
So Ringo's going to be with the slot corner. So Ringo's going to be number 3. Who's going to be the number 3? The slot corner.
No, sorry. Our slot corner is going to be the same gentleman that we had last year. We haven't made any changes at that position.
Okay.
Yeah. Rigo is going to be actually one of our backups. Is going to sit and learn at the feet of two of the best corners in the NFL.
Facts.
But to answer your question in regards to a Nakobe Dean, it is Avonte Maddox. In case you forgot who it was, it's Avonte Maddox.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You know, I forgot. I like that boy Gardner, even though he tore his ACL. You know what I mean? He was popping out last year for me. When I was forced to watch some Eagle games, Gardner Johnson, he was popping off the screen for me.
Well, I mean, you couldn't. You had to look at that defense you had. You had to pop.
He was popping. He was popping like Oral Bopper.
Yeah. So, what's interesting? To answer your question, Nakobe Dean is that dude. Nakobe Dean could have been that dude last year, but he had two guys that knew the system and knew how to play, and were veterans that he couldn't get on the field over. But we didn't have a guy who had the sense to get him the time that he needed last year. So he had to get those reps in the offseason, OTAs, preseason. But that's what happens when you don't have a guy that has foresight, making the decisions as your defensive coordinator.
Basically.
But we're going to talk about that in a few minutes once we're done with Rod. Definitely going to talk about that. We're not going to let this show end till we talk about Jonathan Gannon and what that fool said today. But back to this. So, Rod, your defense, how do you think your defense is going to match up against the unrelenting attack that is the Philadelphia Eagles?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think we're probably gonna shell Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith. I think we're gonna have to shell him. Let AJ Brown kill us. Goddard. I think we can match up with Goddard pretty well. I like the Green Gobbler at free safety. I like that look for him. I don't see him at corner is terrible. I'm gonna be honest with you, but him at free safety looked really good. We got Kyle Duggar.
Oh, Jalen Mills.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like him at free. I like him at free safety. He looked really good at free safety for us.
We didn't like him there.
No, sure didn't.
He fit our system. I feel like he fit our
him
system.
or corner.
I think he fits us a little bit better. You know what I mean? Bill know how to figure things out. We got the red sleeves. You already know what he does. 16 sacks last year. Was a man on a mission. We also got Josh Uche, who had a big year last year. He's playing for money this year, trying to get a big contract. We got Dietrich Wise, and I'm really interested in our pickup this year in the draft, Keon White. I feel like Keon White's he got the potential to be all pro to me in the future. I think Keon White's got the versatility. He gives me kind of Richard Seymour vibes. I'm really interested to see him make some plays in this game. I think our defense is not going to have a drop off. We always have a pretty solid defense.
So, Rod, I'm going to ask you the $1 million question. Who's going to win this game and why?
I think it can play multiple ways, but I got us winning. I got this game us winning. My biggest concern is about Jalen is he didn't get no playing time. He didn't play no preseason games. You can't expect somebody to come off the bench and just be hot like that.
Well, when you're Jalen, you can. You can.
He only had one, but he only had one good season. You can't expect nobody to jump off. Come on. You can't just
hold up. Newsflash. This is what happened last year too, sir. He didn't play the preseason last year either.
Sure did.
Okay.
So this is not like his first time. But hey, if you feel like you guys are going to win, I need a better reason than Jalen Hurts is not going to be ready because he didn't play the preseason.
I think it's going to be a real key thing about pinning y'all back with special teams. I think our special teams. Okay. That's the key for us to win. To pin y'all back.
If you want to talk about special teams,
right?
Pinning y'all back. Make sure the field is. Make y'all start at y'all 20. I think that's how you win the game, by special teams. You can't give y'all kicking out of bounds or stupid penalties, because y'all will hurt us pretty much with penalties if we play a not sound defensive, game in a beating game, I feel.
So you feel like pinning it back is going to stop us when we have
special teams. I think special teams will help us get the win. The only way I see us winning again by running the ball and killing clock.
You say you don't see us winning by running the ball and killing.
I said for us to win, we're gonna have to run the ball and play all phases perfect to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Cool. I know you died to say something.
No, so Diva, what are your thoughts on this game? Who do you think is going to win this game?
So I think the Eagles are going to win for sure, no doubt. I mean, we do have a really good O-line. We have everybody healthy on our O-line, so it's going to be hard to really get to Jalen. You know, Jalen led that RPO pass run option, so you got to watch out for that. Defense, we'll see how it goes, but I have a lot of faith in our defense as far as, you know, getting the rush on Mac and Cheese out there and making sure that we keep him in that pocket and keep him scared all the time. So I really don't see why this would be a tough game for us unless we just out there like we do be BSing around, beat ourselves.
We have seen it before.
Several times.
What about you, Why? What do you think about this game, sir?
Yeah, I got the Birds winning here. I mean, I think the key is going to be our defensive line putting pressure on Mac Jones, like Diva said. And pretty much like once you get that lead up a little bit, start running the ball. I mean, you went out there and got DeAndre Swift, Rashad Penny for a reason. And of course, Kenny Gainwell is going to be on there. But I think AJ is going to have a great game here. I don't know if Devontae is going to be locked down or anything like that. For some reason, I see AJ having a better game than Devontae here. Goddard probably do decent numbers, but I think the real game is going to be coming from AJ, hurts his legs, and I think Swift's going to have a great game as well.
Well, for fantasy purposes, I hope that you are correct, sir, because I do have AJ Brown and I do have DeAndre Swift. So for fantasy purposes, I hope that you are 1,000% correct.
Yes, and
I also believe that the Eagles are going to win. I don't think it's going to be an outlandish victory because I think it's going to take us some time to get everything together on the defensive end. We've got a lot of new pieces. We got a new system. This is going to be the first game. But thankfully, they have Wack and Cheese at quarterback. So with that being the case, we have a great opportunity because we don't have a guy who's going to burn us early. He may throw for 50 yards and y'all try to win the game by running the ball 70 times. So we've seen it happen with Wack and Cheese before. So I think that the defense that the Patriots have is always going to be solid, right? But you're not going to be able to take away Dallas Goedert, DeAndre Swift in the passing game, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, right? Zacchaeus, if he actually gets playing time. Quez Watkins needs to just run out routes to just take a defender over the top. We don't want him catching the ball because he doesn't high point the ball or fight for the ball. So that's my concern is if you throw the ball to Quez Watkins a lot, those could be turnovers or bad plays. But outside of that, I think we don't have to play mistake-free football to win this game. I think this is the game where you say, okay, to Rob's point, I will give him one simple thing. These guys haven't played together in the preseason. So I'm not gonna try to throw it all on Jalen Hurts, but I'm gonna say these guys haven't played together as a unit in the preseason. So there may be kinks offensively and defensively that we have to work out. Where teams like the Patriots, who know that they are probably not going to be some of the better teams, are giving those guys more work in the preseason. And to a bigger issue for me is I do like to see my guys get some work in the preseason as a group, at least the series, maybe a quarter somewhere, because you do want to see that consistency and just make sure that they have the timing down and all those different things, and you're not attempting to figure those things out in game situations because joint practices I get, but they're not the same thing as playing live, football, rules, pads, everything's a go. It's game time. So that could be something that could help the Patriots stay in the game early on. But I do believe that the point will come probably in the second quarter where the Eagles will eagle it out a little bit and it's going to get a nice little pull away. Now, I don't believe the Patriots are going to lay down for us. They're going to try their hardest, their darndest. It's just not going to be good enough. And they're going to catch that L. And it's just how things go. Sorry, Rob.
Hey, cool. I gotta ask you. I gotta ask you this question though, man. I understand y'all got the players on paper, right? But to see some of these Eagles fans, I'm telling you, I work with a lot of Eagles fans to say y'all gonna blow us out 50-7 and all these big numbers on Tom Brady Day. I don't see that. I really
don't think it's
see
going to
that.
be a blowout or anything like that. I think it'll be relatively close.
Well, I think Tom Brady Day is motivation for us because he was the king of your cheating time. So
Yeah,
I
you
think
know what I
if
mean?
anything,
And Bill don't want to lose bad on that day with him there.
Well,
that's going to be the motivation right there.
I don't
we
think
do want to
Bill
spank you.
cares. I think it's Robert Kraft because Brady didn't even like
Bobby.
Bill when he left. But
Yeah, Bobby cares. Bobby's got to go.
Definitely care.
I think after this game, Bobby's going to have to go and go to one of his massage parlors again and act like he doesn't know what's happening.
How are y'all going to split the carries though with Swift and Penny? How do you think that's going to work out? You don't care?
It's actually going to be 4 people, and it's just going to be whoever's hot at the moment.
First legs.
Yeah, whoever's hot at the moment. That's what you get.
Yeah, I think Swift will be
you get a lot of
main
Penny.
back.
You get a lot of Penny later in the game
Mm-hmm.
to what's your word on a little bit because he's the more physical back. Swift, you're going to get some from the beginning. You're going to get some Gainwell as well. So I think it's just going to be, you're going to get some Scott mixed in there. It's just going to be, who's a hot hand. I mean, there doesn't need to be a specific. This guy has to get this many carries. This guy has to get this many carries. We just need about 30 to 40 carries between them, at least a touchdown a game, and 150 yards or so. Right? However that splits up, hey, I'll take the hit in fantasy if we win the games in real life.
Right.
Okay.
And
now, what are y'all
going
to do?
Position, like who we're going to run in, like at the red zone, and so it just depends.
Now, what are y'all going to do with running back over there? So are y'all going to give a large amount of carries to your newest acquisition?
I think we're gonna reverse the odometer on Zeke this year. I think he's gonna have a LeGarrette Blount type of year with us. Everybody thought LeGarrette Blount was done when he came to us. Corey Dillon. We have the we're like a running back whisperer. You know what I mean? We get all the junkyard and figure it out to make them effective again. I think he's gonna have another 800-yard season, maybe 10 tutties this year again.
All right. So, Rod, I will challenge you, since you work with all these wonderful people. Have you told these excellent, wonderful, good people in life that you know a place that they can come to and interact and talk Philadelphia Eagles? And if you haven't, we would greatly appreciate it.
I'll let them know. I definitely will let them know.
If you let them know. And because you work with great Eagles people, and because you're married to a wonderful Eagles diva, we didn't give it to you hard like that. We gave you a quarter pass because of the quality of the individuals around you. Even though you make bad choices, you have good people around you, and we surrounded by good people. It enlightens you and helps you be a better person. So because of that, we're not going to hold you to the standard that we hold some of your fellow Cheatriot fans.
But you know what? Rod's better in live than he is in that chat. You hear me? Because he's talking shit. In that chat, it just be spewing I don't know what. But on live, yeah, I can do a Rod live. But on that chat, don't say it.
Rod's a decent guy. He just likes to troll and to be the troll. He's the king of all trolls.
Somebody got to do it.
Rod, tell the people where they can find you, sir. And we appreciate you coming on.
We do.
And discussing your team and being at a disadvantage because you know y'all going to lose, but you still showed up like a champ.
Well, we're going to show up next week, right? You're going to show up next week, right? Right.
Win, loss, draw, I will be here in these streets, the YouTube streets.
All right.
I'll be back.
They will.
I will be there with my, because I might take a loss. I bet on the game. But I might be out on the YouTube. I'm gonna be better on the YouTube.
Sister about to get some new red bottoms after this game, ain't she?
Yeah, maybe blue bottoms, Nipsey blue, but that's a different story. But you can find me at Rod Uncensored Media on YouTube. Also, you can find me on RodPod21 on Instagram. Man, I got a lot of stuff coming up. I'm supposed to start a college podcast soon. I can find me on there. Also, my Patriots winning 21-14. That's all I got to say.
Oh, I mean that's a pretty good score. That's better than what you probably put in the chat.
Okay.
He probably talking about week 2, but I feel it.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, Rob. Yeah, next week. I appreciate that, Rob.
We'll
holler at you, big dog.
All right, yeah, we're good.
Good to see you, man.
All right, so before we go, guys, we've got one thing left that we must discuss. We have to touch on this. We have to, there is no way this show can go off the air and me be a part of this show until we talk about this. And let me quote, because I want to make sure I say it correctly. So I want to quote Jonathan Gannon here. Quote. All right. So basically, Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon said he's the reason why the Eagles lost in the Super Bowl. And the quote from this idiot, I'm the reason we lost the Super Bowl.
Duh.
You should have came out and you should have said this the moment the game was over. Okay? Because everyone in that stadium knows you're the reason. You're the reason all year. You are horrible at any type of adaptation. You are horrible at versatility in your play calling. And you believe you can play 5 yards off everybody, and that's how you win games. So I want to say the fact that you came out and finally, much too late, but finally acknowledged the garbage that you were doing, especially in the Super Bowl. I appreciate, but you're still trash.
Trash.
I'm glad you appreciate it because I don't. Because you gave 40,000 million excuses as to why you really wasn't the reason why we lost. So now you say that
speak to media.
Right. And now you say that you are the reason when we knew that. Your defense didn't put up nothing. Okay. Offense put up 300-some yards. Y'all put up nothing. Not a sack. You had like maybe 2-3 sacks. And that didn't come to like the end of the first half. And then there was no more nothing else after that.
Bro, I'll be watching some of these videos that the Cardinals are trying to bury him. I feel like some of these videos they be releasing of him. Like I don't know if you watch that, the one of him giving that pep talk. Like this, how is this dude a coach? How is he even hired by the Eagles? How is he in this NFL? Like
I don't know.
This dude.
He's friends with Nick Sirianni. Is how he got the Eagles job.
And I understand people were saying the same thing about Nick, but like at least Nick got over those jitters from the first press conference. Like he actually could speak and talk about what's going on. Whereas like this dude, like I have no clue what anybody sees in this dude whenever he speaks. Like how many people took the bus here? You got a fire in your heart? Like
fire in your heart,
bro. Like everybody looking at you like this is our coach. Like Buda Baker wondering why he signed another deal to stay there. Like I don't.
Buda Baker is like,
bruh, one and done. He's getting fired after this year.
Get up out of here. So here's why I think Jonathan Gannon got the job. I think they knew they weren't going to have the Tyler this year, right? They knew they were going to have to go a different direction at quarterback for this season. You get a chance to get probably the number one pick because you're probably going to be that bad, right?
Yeah.
And then you can either trade that for a boatload of future picks and a couple players, or along the lines of draft another quarterback and get rid of Kyler Murray. So I think this is a wise thing for the Cardinals to do. And I think you definitely got the right person for the direction you want to take it. I mean, he's going to be terrible this year. Like, there's no doubt about it.
He is their ringer. They're like, this is the perfect guy to get us to where we want to go be after this season.
Right.
Oh, there he is. He coming back. Yeah. He's like, just to reiterate.
Yep, 21-14. Rod Uncensored. Hey, Rod, I mean, it's okay to down on the mountain, man.
I respect it. I respect the hustle.
Yeah, I respect you down on that mountain, man, but just know you're down on that mountain.
Just know you go down on that mountain.
You're going down on that mountain, bro. Yeah. You're going to be up there by yourself.
You're the only one up there.
Bleeding out.
My buddy, Patriots fan, he's like, bro, we getting our ass whooped on Sunday. Like, it is what it is. Like, I would like us to win, but I think we're getting our ass whooped. Like, hey, it is what it is, dude.
I will say this, y'all. Just watching y'all to see this replay and everything. Oh, by the way, if you're watching the show, if you watch the show in the future, right? If you watch the replay, make sure you give us a like. Make sure you share this bad boy. If you're watching on Shady Sports Network, make sure you go to Ed Eagles Elite Podcast on YouTube. Check us out. If you're watching on the Eagles Elite side, make sure you go to Shady Sports Network. Same thing. But if we lose this game come next week, okay, if we lose, this will be a show you want to see. That's all I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to say. Now, y'all know the season is back. And when the season is back, a couple of things that we like to rock with around here. So number one, Rod, and all the other Cheatriot fans out here talk about the Eagles are going to lose, this is what I think. This is what I got to say to y'all.
And if you're not down with that, Philly's got 2 words for you.
And then, of course, after we read this comment, we know what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Rod says, 10 toes down for my Patriots.
We know.
Even when they deserve 1 toe. So, Rod, we want to let you know something. This is very important. This is something that you need to make sure that you listen to. This is something that you need to make sure that you're prepared for.
There it is.
And we are going to
First
spear
year
you.
next to the season is glorious.
Yes, it is. And it won't be the last one. With that being said, Diva, Wyatt, any last words and let the people know where to find you?
Go Birds. We in here. We back. It is another season. Let's get it. We're trying to be Super Bowl bound. You can find me at Twitter at CMCobb1. Facebook, Instagram, same thing.
Yeah. Go Birds, fly Eagles, fly. Hopefully go out here. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means, but I think we're going to have a nice win over those Patriots. We're going to go into the next episode, flying high. As always, you can find me at Cinema Trip Reviews and at Wyatt Regard on Twitter. Also on Instagram and anywhere you get your podcasts as far as Cinema Trip Reviews go. So check us out there.
I'll make it simple. Tomorrow, Birds Deep, Wire to Wire. Any other day of the week besides tonight, just go on Play Callers. AU5B. I'll be there doing the show. And that's youtube.com/Real Play Callers. Monday, Monarchs of Wrestling. Tuesday, NFL Matchup Madness, of course, here on Wednesday. Thursday, Birds Deep. Friday, we got the Play Callers Sports Talk Show. That's at 7:30 p.m. EST. Then drop back at 9 for the NFL Gridiron Flex, where we're talking all things NFL as a whole, storylines, different things to watch, not just picks, because everybody does pick them. So we gotta want to do something a little bit different, challenge you, make you look at things a little bit different, make you watch some of the things going on within the game besides just who's going to win. And then Saturday begins season 2 of a very, 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 very good show. We've got a new panel member that you guys are not going to want to miss. One of my favorite Cowboys fans, Mr. Big Time himself. NFC Beast is back for the second go-round. We started last year, best division in football. So until somebody takes us forward, best division in football still. And on a little Eagles side-related news, but still a slight tie back to the Eagles, Sam just says, sounds like former Eagles defensive line coach Philip Daniels will be hired as the DC for the rebirth of the Philadelphia Soul in 2024. Daniel currently coaches defensive line for the USFL. So Sam's one of those guys from Shady Sports. A lot of football, just knowledge about all these different leagues and all these different things that are happening. But guys, we're ending things right now for you for the week. So as we always do, hashtag Fly Eagles Fly. Hashtag Be Elite.
Hashtag Be Elite.
Be Elite.
Make sure you're here next week. Make sure you bring some friends and tell 2 of your friends and 4 of your enemies, because just because they don't like you does not mean they will not like us.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Want to know? Say less. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we had a little bit of a technical difficulty there. A little technical difficulty.
It's like,
but that's okay.
A new outro? What's going on?
Yeah, it's a little technical difficulty, but let's get it. Round 2.